Operation, you start scaling out the operations. You build an operations team from a director of operations or a vice president of operation, and you build a department and unit. You build consistency, capacity, probability. You know what makes money or not makes money, and there's a clear ownership. So a lot of times between $1 million and 10, you actually assign people to run the department, and their compensation is based on that. So they're investing in processes, workflow optimization. They're based on tracking their numbers, cycle times, and a lot of times what happens is some companies, if they want to get to 2020, will start adding ERP systems. They start building the middle management capability. They create systems and processes everyone to follow and be accountable. And then, when we talk about financial management, they're looking at, okay, how can we have a capital strategy? How can we have more money to fund intelligent expansion? Or do we get a software? Do we expand to a new area? They're starting to look at, okay, we want to get 10 million, can we grow more? They start looking at budgeting. Sometimes these companies will bring a fractional CEO to kind of help them optimize their capital structure, debt. They'll get an attorney. They start looking at their business differently because they're looking at building an enterprise. And then administration, they have a person who runs it and builds a team under that, and actually has legal, HR systems, insurance systems through dashboards. Risk management, HR. There's a formal person. When you get to about 5 to 10 million, you start creating department heads, right? And then when you get to management and leadership, what I find out is you start building leaders, you start developing leaders, you start looking at your base employees, and you see if they want to be promoted up, if they want to go up, or do they are not capable, or there's a training program, a development program. So you start developing management, executive team. You start having succession later. You start looking at who wants to move up, and you start giving them the tools. And then you align a lot of the successes of the growth that the company will do. You reward the people who grow it. You create value. You create incentives. You start looking at a bigger vision, allocating capital, developing that culture, and then the founder really is now driving the growth as a leader, as a CEO. It's funny, a lot of people put CEO, and they're really not CEO. They're really just a business owner. If you're really a CEO, you're getting a salary plus compensation for growth, right? And you're doing one thing really well, right? You're not a business owner wearing 7 hats. You're really doing 1 hat. You're doing that really well, and you're on a leadership team, and you're an executive. So when you're transitioning strategically from 1 to 10 million, it's really developing people, developing leaders, developing processes to support them, and start looking at, now after 10 million, do I want to go to 25 or I want to go to 50? What does that look like? But in this video, what we're really focusing on really is 0 to 500, 500 to million, and then 1 million to 10 is what areas of your business that you really have to focus on and make those changes. Because at the end of the day, there's some common things that most businesses in their certain revenues that they have to focus on